How are you feeling?
Massive.
Massive. When you see yourself as a soul, you're so much bigger than this body. It's indescribable, isn't it? The way that you can
Yeah.
travel. Hmm.
I liked being an energy.
Yeah, you didn't have the denseness of the body. You could
No.
just float around. That was really good. So, at the beginning, you were floating around as an energy, and you could sense animals and deers around you, and that deer connected with you as part of your animal connection.
I see it now.
Yeah. It's amazing how you can actually see it in your mind. And the uncle, he brought so much laughter, didn't he? Yeah, it just gives you so much joy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And
He
when
was
we,
really young.
yeah, and when we went to your soul group, you saw Gabriel, who gave you the message, everything's okay.
Yeah. Everyone just smiled.
Well, they're celebrating the fact that you're connecting and you're aware and you're working. You're working on your awareness. But when I connected with your higher self, it was neither male or female, it was just an energy. And they told me that you'd had 64 past lives building peace, tranquility, and a better life. And you were doing really great today. But when we did the body scan, we found that knot in your stomach. It was from a previous life when you were a male on a galleon sailing. It was really hard work.
I can see all the woodwork and all
It,
the ropes and the.
yeah,
But
and
yeah.
and you were thrown by a sword.
Yeah.
Very interesting enough, you didn't quite give me the name of the ship, but it was sure something. It may well come to you later on because now we've opened Pandora's box. You know, as you walk in and or drive in, something will just come to you. But it's very interesting because earlier on today, somebody else was on a ship and all they could describe the name of the ship was sure something.
Me.
Right. Mhm. You had back and hip problems as well, and that was a result of that life. We'll get to your questions now. Your life in Scotland was that Elizabeth, the life of Elizabeth that you led. Yeah. And you wanted to talk to that male, and if so, could he speak? You were that male on that ship. So see how you're closing these contracts, you're tying up the ends, because obviously there's something new coming in. So you're closing a lot of doors. And your guides is an owl and an aborigine. And they're for courage and a better life. And you're just about to embark on a better life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're
And
really
then, yeah.
they're
Yeah. Really
celebrating.
good.
Your spirit animal is a deer, so it's no coincidence that you met that deer. And your previous contracts with partners are now fulfilled. Your lesson in this life is to have your own strength. And they said you're doing really good at that. And you did pass as a child, but that was the one where you were running away and you were hiding. You were a child hiding in that woodland.
Yeah, I had to hide. In fact, actually, I had to hide in like a coal scuttle first.
Yeah.
It was like a bunker, you know, like
Yeah.
a coal bunker.
And
I
you
could smell the coal.
and you were saying that there were other souls around you, but you weren't sure whether they were dead or alive because they were all lying on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. The feeling that you have of burying things, that's because you did have to bury things when you were a male. You were very quickly having to bury gold coins.
In the corner of the field.
Yeah. So that's why that memory was there. Your arthritis condition was caused by the stomach, which we've now dealt with. I can't remember why you ran at top speed, but that will be on your video because I can't write and do some things at the same time. And yes, you did know Chrissy and Hannah in a previous life. Hannah was your mother. And I don't know Hannah, but I'm sure that you will sense that. Yeah. And your height, your fear of heights, was you mentioned about your legs and you flying. You say you were shot in the war. You were in the Air Force, in the Royal Air Force.
Yeah. It's like a bomber that went down.
A bomber. Interesting. You see, you didn't...
You know, I can almost feel it circling down.
Down and down, yeah, it's like they got you.
Falling.
You see,
Yeah.
when I'm with you at the session, you give me very, very short answers because I'm asking you questions, you're in the scene, and you're trying to talk to me at the same time. It's a lot, but then you add the detail after. Yeah. The reason why you use natural therapies is because you know that you need to connect with nature. And your mum and dad are a bit busy at the moment. They send their love, but they know you're doing fine. It's like, you know, you're doing fine. We'll be there when you need us.
Yeah, it's almost like this. Just let Uncle Conrad come to say hello. It's like, you know, it's like, oh, don't worry about it. You've seen Uncle Conrad. Everything, you know, it's like.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It didn't feel sort of like weird or anything like that. It kind of felt natural that they were just like, you know, oh, it's Uncle Conrad. He's looked after.
So how do you feel now that you've had that session?
I feel really happy.
Yeah.
You know, really happy.
Do you feel a bit lighter?
Yeah, I just want to laugh about seeing my uncle with the fact that he just makes me giggle and laugh all the time.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be around for some time, so I'd absorb the laughter if I was you. So do you think that this session was worth it then?
Oh, absolutely. You know, the vivid, you know, I think it was, I felt it quite hard to see something right at the beginning. And there was that time, there was a wall, wasn't there? There was a wall. It felt like everything had just turned everything off. It was almost like I'd come out of the trance sort of thing. It was almost as if someone said, stop, you're not doing this anymore for a minute. It was almost like I had to take just a few breaths because it was like somebody had just taken away all my vision for a minute.
Yeah.
So I wasn't seeing it, you know. And then it was just like, oh, hang on a minute, there's something else going on over there. And it was like distracted and then I was off again.
Yeah. So that's good.
That was amazing.
Oh, brilliant.
I was watching her, Jane, and obviously she was calibrating, her hands was flicking.
Yeah.
Her feet was going. And when she said that her heart was racing, I could see her chest lifting up and down quite erratically.
I mean, I could actually feel my heart racing.
Yeah, you could see it in your chest. You were, it's like short breathing.
Yeah, but I could actually feel my chest go like that, really closing in. It was just like, that was really, it was very strong. But I didn't feel scared or anything. anything. I didn't feel.
No, because you're
you know,
detached from any pain, fear, or emotion, so you can just express the story. You can tell me the story. Yeah. So it was worth. It was worth waiting for then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow.
Well, I don't think
And
you're going to get rid of that
I can't get
uncle.
Yeah. Uncle and Gabriel.
Yeah.
They were just such a kind soul.
Mm.
You know, just.
Well, clearly they're working with you.
Yeah.
He's great. I can feel him.
Yeah, well, I know that I got the message was all your life partners, if you like, the contracts have closed, as have many issues now. You've tied them up, you've closed them, you've bagged them up, you stored them, and you've sent them back up to spirit. There is a new life just emerging. That's what I feel. Something big is going to be happening now.
Yeah, and I feel that.
Yeah.
It's not just about the move.
No, it's about how you feel in your body and everything. It's really gonna balance you. You're ready for it now.
Yeah, I am. I just feel that everything is changing.
Yeah. And maybe that's why you had were drawn to have the session, to give you confirmation that, you've learned the lessons and it's time to move on. Yeah, good. Okay.
Oh, you're a star.